Welcome back, traders. Second portion of our show, Market Movers. We got some things moving up, some things moving down. Let's start with Target today.
Target, TGT, November sales, not good. Seems like last month the sales weren't that great at Target either, but they're selling the stock off pretty significantly here, trading 51.35 after closing at 52.70. So Target looking to be pretty weak here this morning. Going to the chart, bottom there right around that 51.10 area there, Joel, where we bottomed out there a few sessions ago, but I don't know. It starts to open up below there, down to almost 50. What do you think, Joel?
I think that it traded down in the pre-market to it traded below. It traded to 50.55. But looking at this is a great formation here, this 51. If this thing can't hold the 51, then you might as well get your orders out at 50.05 because that's where it's going. I mean, there's no doubt about that. It gapped up back there in October, and it sits itching to fill that gap today. Coming back up, I think you'll find, resistance in the 51.50 area. Real good resistance at yesterday's low at 51.89.
Joel, you bring up a great point, too. We've been getting multiple emails telling, can you explain how you guys trade the numbers a little bit more? Obviously, sometimes we'll say like a number like 51 and say, you can buy it off, and that'll be support. But it's another thing is when it cuts through and there's nothing below it, so all of a sudden it starts trading 50.90. So we look for stuff like gaps where the stock will basically go easily through a whole larger area. So you get a short on at 50.90, there ain't much in there, and maybe it does eventually trade down in that 50.05 area, perhaps even today. So there's like looking at that, there's a potential 85 cents in there for that trade. And not only that is you'd be with the momentum too. And sometimes, momentum plays can really carry through. Look at the days that we've had here. The last few days, momentum has really been in play. So you take out that 51, then you say, okay, look, now this thing's got this gap and we can maybe get down to that 50 area. Moving on though.
Of course.
Moving on, we got Disney. Disney is raising their dividends. So $36 is trading right now. I see a little bit of size actually at $36 forming too. I think that's what's holding the stock down here in the pre-market. Because a little bit of open book size, that'll be obviously that liquidity becomes active at 9:30, the NYSE liquidity that is. So it's trading here around 36. They raised the dividend ups overnight. It was actually trade up as high as 36.35, but this 36 area looks like that's what it wants to put a lid on it right now. Takes that out, then maybe it can start talking about getting that 36.35 area that we've seen after hours.
Yeah, that 36.35, Dennis, coincides real nicely with 36.32, which was the high on November 16th. Above that, I mean, things open up to the 36.5 and then the $37 level. Coming back on the downside, we closed right near the high of the day, so if you're buying this off the open, anticipation of the news, get out below that 35.85 area. That was the close. Don't see much below that until 34.66. That'd be quite a ways down. I'm sure it will stop before that. But 35.85 should be a great swing number. 36 and 36.32 are good numbers on the upside.
Yahoo! YHOO. Alibaba is the rumor is that I think 40% of the company, but there's rumor that they might just take it private or buy the whole thing. Rumor in Bloomberg saying that they might put a bid out there for $20 for the stock. I mean, but if we had a nickel for every time somebody was rumored to be buying Yahoo, we'd probably be able to retire and not have to do this show anymore. So, take any type of Yahoo buy rumor, take it with a grain of salt because, a lot of these rumors do not come to fruition.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be careful. I mean, on the other hand, if you go out and you short the stock and the news is substantiated, you're kicking yourself in the butt for shorting it. But just looking at the technicals here, the stock was really having a hard time at $16, bumped up there 2 days in a row, and then lo and behold, boom, we bust through it overnight. 16.48, where it's currently trading. Far cry from $20, but look for resistance in this stock up at the 16.50 level. That was a high back on November 9th. That's currently where we're trading. I would use 1650 as a swing number. We did get a pop in the pre-market up to 1715. So if in fact we blow through this 1650 area, that would be our next stopping point in 1715.
Lululemon lowering their sales guidance there, their earnings guidance. They actually had earnings, but it was the guidance, I think, that the market did not like. It's down $6 right now after closing at the major resistance area at 50. 50 was huge on that thing, closed right there. The high was closed at 49.70. The high was 50.01. Obviously, that resistance held. We're trading 43.70 right now, so stock is getting killed. There was that one little low there. I'm looking, on the chart there, Joel. You can find in that 42 area. Below there, it starts to open right up again. I mean, here's the problem. High beta stocks, high PE stocks for that matter, when they miss earnings or they lower guidance, they kill the stocks. You cannot miss earnings when you have a PE multiple of 53, not on a clothing retailer. So, maybe if they're reinventing or curing cancer or something, but when you're just selling clothes, and you got a multiple in the 50s, and you miss earnings, stock gets killed. So, and that's what we're seeing now, and a lot of times you see follow through, so don't think it's going to bounce right back to $6. A lot of times these stocks get follow through as people are jumping off the ship. So I think rallies are meant to be sold on Lulu now. I don't know if I would sell it down $6, but if it was to rally back to that 46 area, I like that area for a sell. What do you think, Joel?
I think you need to go out and buy a new pair of yoga pants, is what I think.
I know the yoga. It's cool. Hey, we give props. The yoga pants do look good on the girls, but but I don't know if the yoga pants look good in my portfolio.
Okay, 42.81 is where we hit in the pre-market, so you got to be cognizant of that level. You also got to keep an eye out for this 42.18, which was the low back on October 4th. So there's a couple good support levels. Coming back on the upside, who knows? 46 seem to be a little bit of a stopping point on this stock, so we'll call that minor resistance.
Black Friday, you're just wondering if it was as good as they said it was, because as these November sales keep coming out, stocks are getting killed. We got Kohl's now, KSS, just coming out a few minutes ago. The stock's down $4 here from 53.80. This is a lower beta stock, one that doesn't move around that much. A $4 move for Kohl's, KSS, is absolutely enormous. The stock is trading at 49.92 right now. It basically just gave back half of its move from the last 2 months. So in 2 minutes here. So I like the $48 area. That was resistance back in August and September. I think you might find some support there for an initial bounce. 50 might give you a little bit here as well. What do you think on Kohl's, Joel?
What did they not sell anything on Black Friday?
I know. Well, Targets, they're all these things are getting killed. You got Lulu, Target, well, the Lulu were the earnings, but you get Target, you get Kohl's, you get a lot of retailers here today. The sales are not looking that great.
I'll tell you, I like this 50 level. I mean, obviously the 40, I don't see much at the 48. I see a lot of lows and congestion at the 50 level. So I would expect a little bit of bounce off that level. If in fact it can hold 50, I see a mild stopping point here at the 49.50 level. But the major support comes in at 48.76. That was a low on October 5th. You also, you see a stock here that went from basically 42 to 56, a 14-point move. Taking half of that would get you back at 49. But once again, another pretty thick stock here. I'd expect a little bit of a bounce here at 50.
Aeropostale, another retailer, ARO, not getting killed that much. They actually did have earnings there last night. Stock's trading 15.30 right now after closing at 15.51. So I was looking, in the pre-market after hours, 15 area, 15.04, the low from yesterday. So maybe in the regular session we get a bounce off that 15 the first time through there. Joel, what do you think on ARO?
Well, immediately they slammed it down to excellent support. They slammed it down to 14.52. Going back and look at the dailies, you got a whole host of support from 14.60 to 14.70. So I'd be coming down to that area. I'd look to be pretty good support. And then also after stock trades down that much, if you get back up to the close 1551, I'd expect some resistance there.
Another one we got reporting Limited LTD. They were just saying their same-store sales and November sales were actually decent at Limited. So maybe everybody's not shopping anywhere except Limited. I don't know. LTD had pretty decent numbers. They actually announced a special dividend of $2. Shareholders love special dividends. That almost guarantees, even if your sales aren't that great, but you announce a special dividend, and the stock will probably rally because shareholders like to be paid. So stock is trading $43.95 right now after closing at $42.33. So is offered at $43.90. Best bids at $43.34, but it looks like Limited's going to open stronger here on that announcement. What do you think about Limited LTD, Joel?
Opening right into resistance here. 44, I see it hit 44.20 in the pre-market, so I'd expect real good resistance. I'd be more of a seller from 44 to 44.20 than I would be a buyer. Coming back on the downside, you got a pretty sizable gap to fill here, down to yesterday's low at 42.63. Don't think it will get there today, but good resistance from the 44 to 44.20 level. And then after that, it opens up, it opens up until 45.27.
Here's another retailer for you. Gildan Activewear, GIL, 23.88 closed, trading 18.36.
No
yeah, that's
way.
right. That's not a misprint. Offered at 18.80. Stock is down $5.50 here right now. It's not looking good for GIL whatsoever. 22.47 was the 52-week low. That is history. Joel, take us to the monthlies. What do you got for support? Is there anything on this stock?
Holy macro. They are really taking it. I mean, I think I have a few T-shirts from them. Let's see here. Going back to November of 2009, we got a low at 17.63. Lo and behold, if it gets there, I'd be really surprised. Looking at just our better judge of what the stock's going to do, we need to look at the pre-market. Got those initial prints off at 20 on this horrible news. You got a low print of 18.36, so I keep an eye on those parameters. I'd also like to note to traders that there's been very, very, very little volume associated with this move. Also, this is really not a high-volume stock, so just could be someone just puking their guts out here on a small position. So, trader beware. This thing traded 400,000 yesterday.
It is trading, though, 18.40. It's 18.33. There's multiple offers down there, though, so I think it's going to open down there. I don't think it's like an erroneous trade. 18.27. They keep hitting the bids, man. Joel, we stay on this show much longer. It's going to be at zero. We got to stop the show here. Stop talking about Gildan. It's going to zero if we keep talking about that.
17.63 for the flow.
$18. It's offered 18 now, Joel. 17.91. Stop talking about Gildan.
17.63 for the float, man.
Holy crap.
Let me get my order in
Okay,
there.
we're running out of time. We're running out of time, and Gildan's running out of money. We got to stop talking, Joel.
Okay, folks.
That's all I got for you.
Have a good day. We'll be back tomorrow.